topic it is why are temples targeted? When the kings they are fighting each other or they are trying to conquering other king directly, they are going and attacking the worshipping places or the temples. Why it is we have seen that one, the kings they was thinking like that is the place where they can show their wealth, their power and their devotion to God. If somebody is attacking that place knowingly or unknowingly, kings they will get the humiliation because they are not able to protect their temple like that. Okay, let us see what it is. Because kings built temples to demonstrate their devotion to God, their power and their wealth. It is not surprising that when they attacked one another's kingdom, they often targeted these buildings because they each and every kingdom. For example, now in our class we are 30 students are there. Think like that we have 30 kings, and 30 kings also making like that large buildings for as a worshipping place to show our power and our wealth. And if you are attacking, for example, one person is attacking to second person, then they will go and attack the that wealthiest place or the precious place of the king, so they will get the humiliation. In the early 19th century, the Pandya king of Sri Vallabha invaded Sri Lanka and defeated the king Sena I in 831 851. The Buddhist monk and the chronicler Dhammakitty noted he removed all the valuable that the statues of Buddha made entirely of gold in the jewel palace, and the golden image of in various monasteries. All these was be seized. Okay, one of the example it is given like that Pandya king, he is a Hindu king, and when he invaded Sri Lanka, what happened? He tried to remove all the valuable things from the Buddhist monk monastery, and even they taken the statues of Sri Buddha, which is made full of gold, and the golden images of the monasteries that also taken by the Pandyan king. And the blow to the pride of the Sinhalese rulers had to be avenged, and the next Sinhalese ruler Sena II ordered his general to invade Madurai, the capital of Pandyan. Then after Sena I, the Sena II came, that is the Sinhalese ruler who they are following the Buddhism, and what they are doing, they are coming back to Madurai, and they are trying to invade Madurai. The Buddhist chronicler noted that the expedition made as a special effort to find out and restore the golden statue of Buddha. Why they came and attacked Madurai? They want to find out that golden statue of Sri Buddha. For that purpose, they are coming and in making the fight with the Pandyan king in Madurai. Similar in the early 11th century, when the Chola kings King Rajendra I built a Shiva temple in the capital, he filled it with prized statues seized from defeated rulers. And when the Chola king and Rajendra I, when he made the temple, and that is in the name of Lord Mahashiva, and what he is doing, he is keeping the statues from where he taken when he defeated the other rulers. That time he collected some statues of the gods that he is bringing and keeping in the Shiva temple. And an incomplete list included the sun pedestal from the Chalukyas, a Ganesh statue, and the several statues of Durga, and a Nandi statue from the eastern Chalukyas, the image of Bhairava, a form of Shiva, and Bhairavi from the Kalingas of Orissa, and a Kali statue from the palace of Bengal. We can see the many gods and goddesses name. We can see sun pedestal, that is from Chalukya, then Ganesh statue and other several statues of Durga, and Nandi statue, that also again from the eastern Chalukya. Then the image of Bhairava, that is in the form of Shiva, and Bhairavi, that is from Kalinga kings, that is in Orissa, present Odisha. Then the Kali statues from West means the Bengal area. So the different area wherever he went and invaded from all that places, he collected some statues. Everything he is keeping in when he made Shiva temple. Okay. Then Sultan Muhammad of Ghazni was contemporary of the Rajendra I. During his campaigns, the subcontinent, he attacked the temple or defeated king and looted their wealth and idols. And the Sultan Muhammad was not a very important ruler at that time. Muhammad was not that much important ruler. Then also, wherever he was going and defeating the places, from that he was taking the temple statues or the valuable things from that temple. And really they was exploiting even the wealth, they was capturing, even the idols from the temple they was capturing, even though he was a Muslim king. But by destroying temples, especially the one of Somnath, he tried to win credit as a great hero of Islam. For what purpose? Even though they are not using any idols for worship Muslims, then also he was taking everything out of the temple. For what? He want to show the heroism in front of the people. That is the heroism of Islam. In a political culture, the Middle Ages, most rulers displayed their political mighty and military success by attacking and looting the places of worship of the defeated ruler. That was the common nature of the people of that the Middle Age, means 8th century to 18th century. What they was doing, they want to show their political power as well as the military success. For that purposely they was going and attacking the worshipping places. Then next one, it is coming the gardens, tombs and fort. That okay, that one we will continue in next day, because if we are starting we can't finish it. So we will go through the boxes given in the textbook. We can see the boxes here. Figure 9, Mughal Chahar Bagh, and the Chahar Bagh of the Humayun's tomb, like that. Some of, okay, that is related to next topic. Let us move back, and we can see here the plan of the Jami Masjid built in Shah Jahan in his new capital, that is Shah Jahanabad. The plan of that mosque, it is given, and we can see the some other pictures here. This already we have seen the arch and the details. Painting of the a painting from Akbar Nama. What we can see the Akbar Nama, that we already studied that one. What is the book of Akbar Nama? What is the speciality in that? Giving the details how the King Akbar was ruling, one of the greatest king from the Mughal dynasty, how he was ruling. That details we will get from Akbar Nama. Showing the construction of the water gate at the Agra fort. What the water gate we can see in that painting. And importance of water. The Persian term Abad, populated, prosperous, and Abadi, flourishing, are both derived from the word Ab, meaning water. The how the word water it is started, or the some of the places name how it started, or what is the root form of water in Arabic Persian language, that is Ab, 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 meaning water. And the place name, the famous names we can see Abad, that is word meaning is populated or prosperous, means getting fame, like that. And another one Abadi, flourishing. These like these words which is related to fame or getting the power or the popularity or prosperity, all these things, that words they are showing with the root word of water, means where there is water, there we can see the prosperity, and because of that one we are getting popularity, we can flourish where we are having water. Means the word how it is forming the new words which is related to water. We can see like that some names of our places also, the like related to gods, or that we want to show the sacredness of that area. For that purpose we are making some names, and when we are changing the name, even we are making the house name related to that. If you having the interest to particular god, we are making that. Even school names we can see, and place name we are making the changes of place name. And for example, in Mumbai, the railway station, airport name, everything we changed. It was everything in the name of British kings and queens, like that, and everything we changed to Indian king's name. For example, this famous airport of Bombay, it is known as in the name of Chhatrapati Shivaji, one of the greatest king from the Maratha kingdom, and given his name. And Victoria Terminal, that is in the name of Queen of Victoria of England. It was the railway station, and VT railway station we was calling it in olden days. Then afterwards we changed that name to Chhatrapati Shivaji railway station, and like that names change we can see. And even place name, we our capital Tamil Nadu capital we was calling in olden days Madras. Then now it is we are calling Chennai. Why? Because of some traditional reason we are changing the names, not only one place. And in last months we have read that the many places name again it is changing to different forms, and means more than 100 place name it changed here in Tamil Nadu itself, due to some traditional cause, or related to some devotional case, or some historical case. Like that we are making the changes. Like that the new words also we are forming related to the means daily activities in our daily life. Okay, we'll stop it here and we'll continue next day. Thank you.